Mark, chapter 10. And having risen from there, he comes to the coasts of Judea, to the other side of the Jordan. And again multitudes come together to him, and as he had been accustomed, again he was teaching them. And the Pharisees, having come near, questioned him, if it is lawful for a husband to put away his wife, tempting him. And he answering said to them, What did Moses command you? And they said, Moses permitted to write a bill of divorce, and to put away. And Jesus answering said to them, For the stiffness of your heart he wrote you this command. But from the beginning of the creation God made them a male and a female. On this account will a man leave his father and mother, and will cleave to his wife, and they will be the two for one flesh, so that they are no longer two, but one flesh. What God therefore joined together, do not let man separate. And in the house his disciples again questioned him of the same thing. And he says to them, Whoever may put away his wife and may marry another commits adultery against her. And if a woman may put away her husband and is married to another, she commits adultery. And they were bringing to him children, that he might touch them, and the disciples were rebuking those bringing them. And Jesus, having seen, was much displeased, and he said to them, Permit the children to come to me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the kingdom of God. Truly I say to you, whoever may not receive the kingdom of God as a child, he may not enter into it. And having taken them in his arms, having put his hands on them, he was blessing them. And as he is going forth into the way, one, having run and having kneeled to him, was questioning him, Good teacher, what may I do that I may inherit continuous life? And Jesus said to him, Why do you call me good? No one is good except one, God. You have known the commands. You may not commit adultery. You may not murder. You may not steal. You may not bear false witness. You may not defraud. Honor your father and mother. And he answering said to him, Teacher, all these I have kept from my youth. And Jesus, having looked on him, loved him, and said to him, One thing you lack. Go away. Whatever you have, sell and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me, having taken up the cross. And he, gloomy at the word, went away sorrowing, for he was having many possessions. And Jesus, having looked around, says to his disciples, How hardly will they who have riches enter into the kingdom of God? And the disciples were astonished at his words, and Jesus again answering says to them, Children, how hard it is to those trusting on riches to enter into the kingdom of God. It is easier for a camel to enter through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. And they were astonished beyond measure, saying to themselves, And who is able to be saved? And Jesus, having looked on them, says, With men it is impossible, but not with God, for all things are possible with God. And Peter began to say to him, Behold, we left all, and we followed you. And Jesus answering said, Truly I say to you, there is no one who left house, or brothers, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or fields for my sake, and for the good news, who may not receive 100-fold now in this time, houses and brothers and sisters, and mothers and children and fields, with persecutions, and in the age that is coming continuous life. And many first will be last, and the last first. And they were in the way, going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus was going before them. And they were amazed, and following, they were afraid. And having again taken the 12, he began to tell them the things about to happen to him. Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and will deliver him to the nations. And they will mock him, and scourge him, and spit on him, and kill him, and the third day he will rise again. And there came near to him James and John, the sons of Zebedee, saying, Teacher, we wish that whatever we may ask for ourselves, you may do for us. And he said to them, What do you wish for me to do? And they said to him, Grant to us that one on your right hand and one on your left we may sit in your glory. And Jesus said to them, You have not known what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the immersion that I am immersed with, to be immersed? And they said to him, We are able. And Jesus said to them, Of the cup indeed that I drink of you will drink, and with the immersion that I am immersed with you will be immersed. But to sit on my right and on my left is not mine to give, but to those for whom it has been prepared. And the 10, having heard, began to be much displeased at James and John. But Jesus, having called them near, says to them, You have known that they who are considered to rule the nations exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority on them. But not so will it be among you. But whoever may will to become great among you, he will be your minister. And whoever of you may will to become first, he will be the servant of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be ministered to, but to minister, and to give his life as a ransom for many. And they came to Jericho, and as he is going forth from Jericho with his disciples and a great multitude, a son of Timaeus, Bartimaeus the blind, was sitting beside the way begging. And having heard that it is Jesus the Nazarene, he began to cry out and to say, The Son of David, Jesus, deal kindly with me. And many were rebuking him that he might keep silent. But the more abundantly he cried out, Son of David, deal kindly with me. And Jesus, having stood, he commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying to him, Take courage, rise, he calls you. And he, having cast away his garment, having risen, came to Jesus. And answering, Jesus says to him, What do you will I may do to you? And the blind man said to him, Rabboni, that I may see again. And Jesus said to him, Go, your faith has saved you. And immediately he saw again, and was following Jesus in the way.